I don't know the rest of us can do that. Oh, look at that. Did you see
We
that,
are
MJ?
live.
You are live. Did you see that flash on the
Ooh,
screen?
yeah.
Yeah, actually, I thought I just caught it. Yeah.
That's new too. Hey, so
Yep, it is.
I was reaching for my drink. Those of you tuning in tonight, welcome. This is Stormfront Freaks Raw. It's episode 136. We're in a moment here. We'll be talking to Brandon Sullivan, meteorologist and storm chaser. But if you're watching this right now on YouTube, you're either live with us right now and you're one of our Patreon members tuning in live. And if you are, don't forget to jump in the chat. Let us know you're here. You got questions for Brandon, all that kind of stuff, certainly let us know. Or you're watching the stream after the fact. And regardless, we always have the disclaimer. We call this Stormfront Freaks Raw because you're watching the recording. And there's no edit to this, right? There's no beeping out any words. There's no, blocking Maz's video when he does unquestionable things on video. It's raw, so we just give you that disclaimer up front that it's raw. But we do edit the audio podcast, and we usually upload that on the Sunday following the show. So if you want an edited version of this, feel free to look us up on any of the podcast players and find Stormfront Freaks and listen to that. So thanks for tuning in. All right, so we got Josh,
Phil.
Garrett. They're both on already. What?
Phil, your mic
Hi,
is
Josh. Hi, Garrett.
your mic is. I mean, it sounds like it's clipping, but that's not what it is. It's not. It's just popping every once in a while.
Okay, like streaming issue or?
Yeah,
hot?
There's just no. I don't think it's hot. There's a little snap. And does anybody else hear that once in a while? Or is it just
I
me?
haven't noticed it, but
Was anybody hearing a snap while I was talking?
wait, do it again.
Snap.
Little crackle.
So I see that Garrett and Josh are on. Garrett says, "Evening, everybody." Josh, evening.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
yeah, just now.
Okay. So it wasn't just me.
All right.
It's not bad
But
though.
Again, I don't think it's a. It's not a clip. It's not a hot clip. But
Okay.
I don't know. We can keep
I'll
going,
try
but
something else.
it just every once in a while it does that. It's kind of.
I can try something else. We'll see if I go.
Yeah, you could, because you get a
Did you hear
little.
me?
You know, you tell me I get that max headroom. It's not at all that bad, but I'm kind of a.
You sure it's not hot or it's not?
No,
something like
no,
that? No. Okay.
No, I don't think so, because I think it doesn't do it just when you're like peaking.
Got it. All right. Well,
Josh
says
hears it too.
Here's it too. So one of the things I did, remember when I was having trouble, it was really quiet.
Yes.
Like when I would go to my audio settings, I would have multiple. I'd have my default, and then there would be multiple other options, but all of them were still the same coming out of my mixer. And I just chose a different one, and it wasn't quiet anymore. So
Okay.
I just chose another different one. We'll see if that had something to do with it. Or
I left
not.
my drink.
Yeah,
Be right back.
it's still
Come on,
doing a
Maz.
little bit, but we
I
may have
will
to just have to
I
go
also
with it.
turned off the automatically adjust mic volume, so I will turn that back on to see if that does anything.
Okay.
So now it's automatically adjusting my mic volume.
Right.
Dan, you look
Yeah,
more tired than I am.
In am I any quieter or louder than I was before?
No,
Same. And am I still clicking when I'm talking?
I haven't heard it again.
All right. Well, maybe that might have done it. But all right. Brandon's decided not to chase any flash flooding tonight, so we are we're good to go with
We
him
picked
this
again.
time.
Hey, Serena.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Serena's on.
The party can begin.
So last time, Brandon, we were going to have you on was the same night that I was out. It was end of May, and so I was out chasing that night too, and Dan Wallace was out chasing that night. But that was probably good because I don't know that would have been a good show with you, me, and Dan kind of all trying to make it work from the road. I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably not. I don't know if anything good happened though. I don't remember.
No, that night actually, I was the time the podcast started recording. I was already on my way to go to the hotel near the next chase site, and Dan was too. So we probably could have made it work, but that's all right. I'm glad you were flexible enough to swing on over. All right, so here's what we'll do. Does anybody have any questions? Did everybody sounded pretty good? Maz, I don't think I've heard you talk yet. Yep.
I'm kidding. I'm just
we got you. We got you.
He gets such a kick out of
messing.
it.
All right, so I'll quick record the little pre-opening here that we'll edit in. But then I'll come in and count in the official opening. We'll do the welcome. I'll talk about the Patreon folks, the 3-part storm training series we got coming up. Talk a little bit about El Niños. And we'll do what's everybody drinking. And then Maz, we'll have you introduce Brandon. Okay, you got his intro. And so we'll just kind of do question and answer for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. I will, on the private chat, I'll kind of make a comment like, hey, let's last question, or let's wrap this one up before the break, and then we'll take a break. And then coming out of the break, we'll go with round 2 with Brandon. Okay. Brandon, you got any questions, buddy? You good?
I'm all set.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool, man.
Dan and Angela, we're going to send you out. You know, if we get to a break and I forget to bring you back in, just wave or throw something in the private chat. I forget. Sometimes I leave you in too during, the last half of the show, which is fine.
That's cool too.
Yep, for sure.
There would be some nights that, depending on how many guests we have and co-hosts, we wouldn't be able, because we can only fit 10? Is 10 the limit? 10 people on it.
And 10 gets tough. 9 is about what you want, because 10 you get all really.
We run out of
small.
squares.
You run out of squares.
Yeah, like how do they fit 10? I don't even know how
they
fit
do.
10 squares in.
We've had it before. You get one.
okay.
You get 2 little ones. Not whatever. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
4 and 2.
Let's we'll rock and roll here. All right, we'll do the pre-opening. Coming in 3, 2. Hey, freaks, this is Phil, and we're excited to chat with meteorologist and storm chaser Brandon Sullivan. We've also got more #WeatherFools, freak video faves, and yes, even Weather Trollbot 5000 is in the studio. So it's all coming up on episode 136 of the Storm Front Freaks. All righty.
Cool.
Let's rock and roll, everybody. Here we go. 3, 2. Hey, welcome, everybody. This is the most entertaining weather podcast. It's the award-winning Storm Front Freaks podcast. It's part of the Storm Front Freaks network. We always want to thank up front our Patreon members that support our show, and those that are even joining us tonight. I saw that Josh is on tonight. Garrett's in the house. If you happen to be watching us live, don't forget to jump on the chat. Let us know you're here. And then we've also got our friends in the what we call the green room, our VIPs here tonight as well, Angela and Dan. But we just want to thank you for helping us out. And I want to let you know we've got some amazing shows that we've got coming up. So if you're not a Patreon member, you certainly might want to think about doing that, because we've got coming up our 3-part storm training series. And show number 1 of that is going to be on storm forecasting 2 to 30 days out. And we're going to have Skip Talbot and Dr. Victor Gensini on the show to cover that. And then part 2 of that storm training series is on storm target forecasting. So, basically the day of, and you're trying to figure out where the primary target and the storms are going to blow up. We've got Quincy Vagel and Reed Timmer joining us for that show. And then part 3 is going to be actually on storm structure identification. So now the storms are rolling, they're brewing. Really, how to identify the main parts where the storms are going to be, so you might know where to go or what to keep an eye on. And also, if you happen to be chasing wind, to identify if the storm's starting to die and it's time to move on to another one. But we've got Hank Shima and Rachel Sanner going to be joining us for that episode as well. So some amazing shows coming up. Members, they can watch and they can chat with us live during our video recording. Members also can get exclusive merchandise, behind-the-scenes planning documents that we provide for every show, and even as some of our VIPs I mentioned tonight, join us with our guests. So you can get in on all the extras at patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks. And I mentioned earlier that we're part of the Stormfront Freaks Network, and one of the other podcasts available in that is the El Niños. It's the Tornado Hunters podcast. With one of our co-hosts, Greg Johnson, and his Tornado Hunter pals, put that on. So if you subscribe to our show or the Stormfront Freaks Network, you're also going to get that one as well. We have shows on opposite weeks, so every week you get a great show. Greg was going to be joining us tonight. I know he's chasing up in Canada this evening. I was going to have him kind of fill us in on the past episode and what's coming up. I will tell you this, and Maz, this will be of interest to you. Their most recent episode that they just put up is, and I'm trying to think of the name, but it is with Miss Wilhelmina, and I forget her first name, but she's a Playboy model. So
Really?
Maz,
And why do you come to me again?
Why do you want Miss?
With my wife downstairs in listening range.
well, which is great because it's an audio podcast anyway, so everything's safe, everything's good. We're all good, but it is rather interesting. And what's great is they have all these great people. A lot of them have Canadian backgrounds, but they've had Tommy Chong of Cheech and Chong. He's been on there. Paul Brandt, a country musician, they've had on. But all of these people also are like kind of weather geeks behind the scenes, and so they kind of love talking about weather and stuff like that. It's really kind of neat to hear where they got their interest in weather. It's kind of fun. But so you can check that out. Hey, here's what I want to do. If you're not familiar with the show, one of the ways we introduce the co-hosts that join us tonight is to find out what they're drinking. We like to have a little fun. We always say it's happy hour whenever we record the show. We always invite you to join us as well if you're not at work and not driving, Angela. But I don't think she's driving, so I think we're good. So we always want to go around with our co-hosts, find out what they're drinking tonight, and also let you find out who's here. So I'm going to start with MJ as usual, our Sky One coordinator up in Minnesota. MJ, what are you drinking?
All right, good evening, everybody. I'm back at it with Grain Belt Northeast. One of my faves.
Yeah.
Grain Belt.
You guys always come up with such cool beers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Dina, our meteorologist and weather producer with the Weather Channel. Dina, what are you drinking this evening?
I tried to get something new this time, and I'm trying to step up my game to keep up with you guys. This is Atlanta Hard Cider Company. It's a rosé craft cider, and I just got it. If you can see that, it's actually pretty good.
Nice.
Yum.
I'm kind of digging it.
So it's like a wine kind of cider kind of thing, or what?
Rosé craft cider. That's what it says. And I like anything with like cranberries or blackberries,
Or
something
alcohol.
like that.
Anything with
with
cranberries
anything
or
with the hooch. I gotta have the hooch.
Serena, our former meteorologist at the Mount Washington Observatory, among other places. But Serena, what are you drinking tonight? You've always got some kind of weather-themed craft beer.
I do. I always save it for the show, and I've done it again today. So this is from the Trim Tab Brewing Company in Alabama, and it's called Language of Thunder Cumulus, and it is a bourbon barrel-aged stout with toasted vanilla and coconut. But it's got a weather name.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
can't
all that
keep
matters.
up with that. I can't keep
That
up
sounds
with that.
good.
I'll say this. It sounds pretty heavy, and it looks big. Is that a bigger bottle than normal?
I'm in trouble. I'm in
Wow.
trouble for the night.
All
Yeah, no.
I would probably agree with you on that. All right, Maz, former on-camera meteorologist. What are you drinking, sir?
I had way too much beer and pizza earlier, so you know what you want after that? Some rainwater. So I just did really cold, crisp. I'm like just so thirsty. It's ridiculous. So I kind of vegged out here this evening. I know. It's like the first. I know it.
All right.
How about you, Phil?
Had to do that. Oh, so I'm I'm taking some shots. Number one. So I've got Rattlesnake, which is some tequila and something whipped chocolate. So there's chocolate liqueur and something else in that one.
Oh, he's gonna be
And,
shit faced by the end.
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh.
Strawberry Sundae, which is a little strawberry liqueur and some
Oh, and you're changing flavors.
Yeah.
cream,
You're
mixing it
gonna
up.
be hurting.
You're gonna
And
need
I've
some
also
water.
got some Kickstart Mountain Dew and Captain Morgan's coconut rum.
Holy
Good
shit, you're gonna
Good
be done.
Lord.
You're gonna be done. I give it
I wanted to give
4
myself
minutes
options
and
this
he's out.
evening. Giving myself options. That's what it is. All right, Maz, let's roll, baby. What do you got?
Awesome. Excellent. All right. Hey, we've got Brandon Sullivan tonight, storm chaser. He's a meteorologist and storm chaser living in Moore, Oklahoma, who has been chasing storms since 2006. Now, after graduating from the University of Oklahoma in 2014, Brandon sold his first company, Hazard Notifications, to AccuWeather. Smart man. From there, he spent time at AccuWeather, IBM, and now DTN, where he helps organizations manage their risk as it relates to natural hazards. Brandon, first of all, you got to tell us about this hazard notifications company you had and sold. What was that all about?
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing we did was like people probably know it as Hazwix or HAZWX. So it was like a weather model graphics site. We did really cool weather graphics, but on like a Google Maps interface. So you could zoom down to your county or your part of the state and actually see all the cool severe weather parameters. So kind of getting away from the static images and stuff that you see out there. So that was a big thing. Then did some custom WRF modeling. So we had like the Haz WRF. Everything started with Haz, of course, because it sounded cool. So we did some custom WRF modeling. We had this WRF model that was really, really good at pinpointing storm initiation. So I like to follow it myself a lot when I chase. And then we had eventually kind of this B2B, business to business offering that let companies like upload a list of all their locations of their, offices or facilities, or a farmer could put his fields in there and things like that. When you get notified of, any type of hazard, really, whether it's hail coming or, it's going to get cold. I got to go put my oranges under cover and, everything that you can imagine related to weather. So
You're a freaking genius, man. And so you sold it for $2 billion. And so I mean, did you like, hey, we've been having a six-pack. We should develop some models and sell it to AccuWeather. How did you even come up with this?
I think, it was just me being a weather geek. I would say first off, like I always thought I had my career figured out. Like I went to OU, I was going to graduate. I wanted to go issue tornado warnings and thought it was just the coolest thing, hey, I'm going to issue a tornado warning somewhere at 2 p.m. and, wake up some family and save their life. I love what the Weather Service does. And that's what I thought I was going to do. But it was a weird time. There was no hiring freezes and furloughs and all that type of stuff. So I'd kind of been toying around on the side with, building this weather display thing, and had a couple friends that were way more technical than me, that was working on it. And I said, hey, let's go full time on it. Let's try and build this out. So, I mean, yeah, that's why the weather graphics thing was kind of the first thing. I'd used a lot of the weather sites that you see out there, the CODs, and it was really just kind of COD back then, and Twister data and stuff. And I wanted to be able to zoom down to Western Oklahoma and get like really tight in on all these graphics. And it got more critical as high resolution models came in, because, trying to view like a CONUS wide thing of the HRR reflectivity, just wasn't cool. I wanted to go see what that supercell looked like, so that kind of grew. And then we tried to look for ways to, be a real business and generate, real money. And that's kind of when we looked at the, the business to business approach. And it started just with like trying to work with Oklahoma car dealerships and say, hey, we can tell you, with a fair degree of certainty, 24 hours out, when hail might impact, this area. And then, a couple hours out, we can be really certain. And that just kind of came with the territory of better models. So.
Was your intent always to like get this company started and sell it to make money, or did it just happen?
Yeah, I would say it just happened. You know, I actually very distinctly remember the call from AccuWeather. You know, here I was building this cool thing, and I'm driving, and I get a call, and it's like, hey, I'm Chief Strategy Officer at AccuWeather. I'd like to know if you're interested in being acquired. Very straight to the point. And I was like, whoa. So, you know,
What do you mean acquired?
right? So, you know, no real business background to speak of. Just, you know, weather, and, you know, doing all like our founding documents and incorporation things, you know, with LegalZoom. And I'm sure when the AccuWeather lawyers were looking through everything, they're like, what in the world is going on? But it was a really fun process, and you know, learned a lot through it.
Did you think you were going to be punked? I mean, like, who's doing this?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't know. I guess I never had that feeling. I think I was too busy like trying to make sure that everything was in line, and you know, it's like the whole negotiation process when you're just like, well, I really wish they would email me back, but if I email them first, then they won't want to pay as much because they'll not desperate. So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I mean, they came at a really good time, I guess. You know, honestly kind of held them off because we were working on some really cool stuff and trying to get in front of some really big companies. And we had this kind of in with a Fortune 50 company, and they, you know, wanted to use our services, but me and my team of 2 and 3 guys would have a hard time, you know, serving a $50 billion a year company. And that's kind of where we needed AccuWeather's expertise and their lawyers and, you know, their insurance and everything, and just expertise in dealing with something at that scale. So it was a good time for them to come in.
I tell you what, if I ever get a phone call from a weird number, I'm going to think twice now about answering it. Ever since you said this, it's like, because I mean, it's not like, I mean, did it pop up AccuWeather? I mean, I'm trying to think 2014. I don't even think the phone said that yet.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Not. It probably didn't say spam risk, at least. That's easy.
Who is this? Stop calling me.
You can, Brand, maybe you can help us out. We're trying to work a deal with Discovery Channel on this podcast right now. So I'm trying to play it coy, right? They haven't reached out to us yet, but I'm still trying to play it coy. I'm playing hard
We
to
don't
get.
want you, Discovery.
Don't
You
be
just
too desperate.
you just gotta
Don't want
mention them a lot on Twitter. Mention them a lot. Go to LinkedIn and browse like some executive profile like 4 times a day or something.
Should I get
a-
Really?
There you
Okay.
go. There you
Should
go.
I get a
That's-
T-shirt
go.
that says "I want to be acquired"?
There's our title right there.
Jay's writing it down.
That's good.
Right.
So tell us, Brandon, a little bit now. So obviously you've kind of moved a little bit from some different companies, but what's your current role right now with DTN, and kind of what do you do?
Yeah, so DTN, I lead kind of our Esri space, which is like our mapping you know, technology. So there's, you know, what you would view as like how's the best way to frame this? So a lot of companies basically use Esri technologies to kind of power their workforce. So, you know, like a utility company wants to view all their lines, or a city, you know, manager wants to be able to see everything that's going on in the city. So we help build, you know, weather technologies that work with Esri, and give data to those customers. Also am working on some of our software products that you might see out there. Things like Weather Ops that used to be a WDT product. WDT was acquired by DTN. So Weather Ops Commander and some of those tools. All those are things, you know, where we're delivering kind of this weather intelligence out to customers, and it's all across all different industries. So we have like transportation industry. They, interested in how much snow is going to fall, how many plow trucks do we need to, event managers. Hey, do I have lightning in the area? Do I have a wind threat? Energy utilities, did lightning strike one of my turbines? Do I need to start a warranty claim? So all different types of industries, and trying to figure out, continuously how to deliver that data to them. And, a lot of times we're delivering the same data, but we have to deliver it in different ways to different industries because they use the information different.
So I work for a university athletic department, and we use the Weather Sentry product, obviously for our events that you talked about. But so how big is the company? Like, how many employees does the company have?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think of the latest slide deck I saw.
I suppose it depends on the latest acquisition, right?
Yeah. They've made a couple recently that were announced. So, DTN is not just in weather. They have a very large ag, energy, refined fuels business. And it's not just, weather software and integrating weather into those businesses, but they actually have tools that help farmers trade grain and companies buy and sell oil and things like that. So I don't have much visibility kind of into that. It's not a huge company. It's nothing like IBM with 400,000 employees, and I would routinely find somebody doing the same exact thing I was at somewhere else in the organization. But it is a large company. I think it's around 1,000 employees, but spread out across the world. So work in a lot of different time zones. There's the early meetings with the Europe team, and then my daily meetings here, and then the 9-10 o'clock meetings with the folks in the Philippines
all day long.
Yeah,
Brandon, didn't Mass say you did work for IBM for a while? I asked because the weather company, which is the Weather Channel Digital and all the Weather Underground that got acquired, is owned by IBM.
Right.
So I'm like, did we work at the same time at IBM?
Yeah. So I joined in 2017.
Yeah.
And I had a very close relationship with the executive team on that side. So was kind of found by David Kinney, and then Cameron Clayton eventually brought me in. Now, I actually didn't work in weather at IBM. I worked in Cameron's organization, but I was on the media side, like Watson Media, like the closed captioning business and those things.
Okay.
And honestly, the real reason is I had no competes from selling my company to AccuWeather. And so I wanted to come over to IBM. I wanted to do cool things. I just couldn't quite get into the weather there.
It seems like a cool, you've got a nice diversity on your resume, though. I mean, you have weather, you have technical, you've had a company, what haven't you done? You done any TV work yet?
No TV work. Although that's, when I tell people I'm a meteorologist, that's usually the first question I get. What station are you on?
So I'll jump on that because that's kind of a good leadway there, Dina. So what is your goal? Like, where are you looking to move forward to, and what do you want to be doing 5 years, 10 years from now? I don't think you're retirement age yet, but that's just an assumption.
Let's say get acquired again.
if I did sell it for $2 billion, yeah, maybe. No, yeah. So I think one thing that's been interesting through the process is learning that I really enjoy the business side of everything. I think when I started it, when I went to AccuWeather, I thought, I'm never going to work outside of weather. I love this. But I realized definitely at IBM that, I love chasing. I love weather. I'm never going to get over that. But doing it as a job is not, it's not a requirement for me. So, I'm not, ultimately sure, where it all will go. Working in weather has its challenges. I think you get a lot of weather data is free. Why do we have to pay for weather data? And it can be at times hard to to explain some of that value. And I'm a big fan of like artificial intelligence and trying to use that in innovative ways. We do some of that at DTN, in trying to predict different types of weather risk. But I also did that at IBM, like training Watson to understand how to read procurement documents and invoices and make sure that organizations were following their contracts and not paying too much, or you're training Watson to do closed captioning for live broadcasts. So yeah, I'm a big fan of emerging tech, and not sure I'll always be in weather, but I definitely like it.
Well, it's funny hearing you say, you may not always be in weather. It's not totally necessary. It kind of explains maybe the move to more a little bit more. Are you just asking for your house to get hit by a tornado? You just want to chase locally,
Yeah. So, I mean, the more thing was literally, so I was living in Austin. So when I joined IBM, I went to Atlanta, and Atlanta was it was nice. I actually lived like in Suwannee, so I was kind of way outside.
We never meet. How did we not meet?
So I was outside, and it was like when I was living out there, it was literally like, okay, now I'm one of those people that has to pick 2 weeks or a week, a months in advance to go chase.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get back to the central U.S. So was able to move to Austin, and then when I joined DTN, they have an office here in Norman. And I wasn't, I was told I can work remote, I can do whatever. But I'm like, well, I'll move up here because I have friends here, but went to school here, and it's way cheaper to live here. So, it made sense to come back, and yeah, definitely. I'm in the tornado capital, and I've looked at those track maps of all the historical tornadoes in the last 15 years, and I see how close they are, and I got that storm shelter installed as like one of the first few things. Now I probably won't be here when the tornadoes happen, but at least my wife and cats.
All right. So enough of this job and career crap. Brandon, we're going to get a little bit to the serious stuff before we go to break here.
So
I'm going to
cool.
play a quick little bit of a video from
Whoa.
El Reno, the El Reno tornado, and this was your footage in your vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Which is just crazy. There's just debris flying all over the place. But we heard part of the story from Greg and the Tornado Hunters, because they were that vehicle that was on the left-hand side that jumped in the ditch and kept booking like crazy to get the hell out of there. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back. But you guys all know it's always storm season, right? Whether we're talking tornadoes like now, or whether it happens to be the tropical storms that happen to be coming in. But at helicity.co/SFF for Stormfront Freaks, they got a huge selection of weather and hurricane themed merchandise, including Stormfront Freaks shirts, beverage containers, and stickers. All you got to do is go to helicity.co/SFF. And when you go to that link, you're going to automatically earn a 5% discount off your entire order. And you can also, from there, click on the Brands tab, and you can find all your Stormfront Freak favorites, again, at helicity.co/SFF. So it's time for a break. We're going to be right back with more from Brandon, so stay tuned.
MJ, nice job with the Chiron there, buddy.
Yeah, how about
Super
that?
action.
With the what? What do you do? I didn't see it.
Put the
such a
web
director.
address up on there. Yeah, I was like,
nice.
oh,
Okay.
Yeah, so the 5 people that watch this on YouTube get a good shout.
There you go.
Brandon, I was watching that video. You were
I
freaking
did
out.
too.
The passenger
I watched it.
seat,
It's
man.
crazy. Thank you.
I mean, at that point, are
I
you
would've been
really
too.
like so like?
Hey, don't ask the questions now. We got to
I
get
just-
this.
No,
on.
I
gotta
know,
wait.
but-
I
Gotta
know.
wait. Gotta wait.
All right.
Okay.
Let's we'll find out. Angela and Dan, they've got to have some nice
Okay.
job and career questions, since that was our first half of the exciting episode.
I want to know too. Has Angela
Stormfront
ever
Freak.
been in a big storm in her truck?
I was in the derecho last year in Iowa.
Right.
I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh God.
God, that had to be scary. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I mean, what do you do in a truck? So it's like, this is
Where were
why
you
we
in
have
Iowa?
meteorologists. I was in Walcott,
Okay. Wow.
so it wasn't as
Wow.
bad, but
Yeah.
That's still scary as
Mhm.
hell
It's
though to
intense.
be in a 18-wheeler. Is that what you got?
yeah. And so like we were all tucked like right beside each other, but like there was some like people like trucks got flipped that were like standalone by themselves. So
Yeah, that is a good idea, just to stack each other next to each other.
Yeah, just as long as you tell me you didn't do it under an overpass. And
no,
block traffic.
sir.
Wow.
Yeah, Phil will go off on that. Don't say that.
Called a wall.
I share the sentiment.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Have you come across that before, Angela? Where
Yes.
you can't get through because everyone's stopping up on. Oh God.
Yes.
Do you have a
Do you lay
bat
the hon-
in your cab? Like,
Well, it's like
why
I
would
drive a company truck, so it's
or
like
a gun?
just beat it to hell. Like I don't care. The company has insurance for it. Like I'm fine.
What was that? What was that Stephen King movie with the 18-wheeler that just plowed and killed everybody? And
Was it Max Overdrive or
yeah,
something?
Max.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's it.
I love that
Maximum
movie.
Overdrive. That's what it is.
Also known as "Don't ever let Angela drive your truck."
Oh no, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I can probably do reverse circles around a lot of people. So
Nice.
yeah.
And you guys have Dan? You got any questions for Brandon?
Is there a product that I guess maybe you think needs to be developed? Someone hasn't developed it yet. Like a specific weather product.
Yeah,
He's like,
what's
I'm
your
not
next
giving away my
business?
secret.
Yeah, what's
That I
that?
can create and sell. Right.
Man, that's a good one. Specific one. Yeah, I mean, I
And
don't
it's just
know.
us here listening and no one else.
Yeah, no.
No one's
You're
taking
good.
notes.
I'm trying to think. Like if I was just not on the
Nope.
spot, I'm sure I'd have some ideas. I still think maybe there's not something necessarily new, but I still think there's a long way to go in a lot of these things. So one big area would be like better using weather information to drive some like insurance type things. So like the concept of I want to buy weather insurance for my wedding a year in advance, and if it's bad, then I bought this policy and now bad weather and I get my money back for the wedding. And I know that there's some types of things where that's happened, like people have been able to buy insurance for a landfalling hurricane, and if it misses, they're out of their they paid their $500 or whatever, but if it hits within so many miles, they get that. But like the concept of insurance for personal events and things like that, I think would be kind of neat. You see a little bit of that in like booking like a Airbnb somewhere. If you go to the beach, say I want to, and maybe this isn't really out there. It's something I was thinking of though. Like if I'm going to go to the Outer Banks, and if it's cloudy more than 70% of my trip, I want to buy insurance for a refund because it might not have been the best beach trip. So I think that'd be cool.
Doesn't Vegas have something like that right now?
There's actually a bunch of companies that do so. With the company I was at before the one I'm at now, we actually did that. So it was we assessed the risk at different locations around the world based upon like 40 years worth of data, and you could put in your wedding date and buy an insurance policy for it. And there was
Really?
specialty insurance for vacation, so you could book like your golf vacation, and if it was like 80%
Too late.
cloudy or rain or whatever, like that
Yeah.
was a big part of what we did. We by looking at all that historical weather
Oh.
data. So that's totally
How much
out
did they
there.
charge for something like if you're getting married next year in June? How much would that even cost you?
It was when you look at some of these venues and you realize people are paying, $100,000 for a venue. $5,000 policy isn't all that much. I mean, so there's a bunch of different ways that it can cost a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
values. Kind of it depends upon the risk, right? So it's like, are
Right.
you getting married in a risky place?
It's
Are
not
you
for
Getting
us,
married
obviously.
September 10th in the Bahamas.
Yeah, exactly. Like your policy is going to
Yeah.
cost probably a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I mean, it totally varied based upon, upon the risk, but the key is, process all the data behind the scenes, set like risk scores and values. So you have it make like a simple API call. And so when people are like creating stuff, it literally is like a pop-up, like check here to, purchase insurance. It'll cost this much. So it's like a small piece of the process, but a big one.
I feel like there's always going to be some loophole that you didn't think of, that you bought it, you got hit, and they're like, oh, but you didn't click on that. Like, what the heck?
A lot of them are parametric, which means there has to be like a threshold trigger. So it has to be like 1 inch of rain or greater, or winds exceed 45 miles an hour. Like they'll actually have pretty specific things. So if you have that wedding where you had the policies for 1 inch of rain and you got 0.95, 0.95, womp womp. Like I talked to people on the phone. Literally, I talked to a guy who like tried to insure his county fair or something. He bought like a policy for 1 inch of rain and they got 0.99. And it's just like
somebody go pee in that thing,
he
right?
wasn't happy.
No, not happy at all. But it's like that's the risk you take, right?
It's like life insurance, and I'm not quite dead yet. I'm not quite dead. I think I'm gonna
pour your beer in it.
It's crazy.
Right.
That's just a punch in the face at that point.
It's rare.
right.
I mean, like it was rare, but
Yeah.
man, it happens because statistics, right?
All right, so let's keep rolling. So we'll come back. I'll start. So here's what I'll do, Brandon. I'll kind of play a little bit of that video again, because I want to talk about that day with you, because that's intense, and I know you've probably talked about that 8,000 billion frickin' times, but yeah, I think it's still cool to talk about it and learn and see what that day was like for you. But yeah, we'll go through that. Maybe go, I don't know, another 10, 15 minutes in questions. And then we'll do our lightning round, which, of course, that's the sound. So when you guys hear that sound, that's our time for the lightning round. We're going to play a little game show with you, Brandon, and with the freaks. And then we'll take a second break at that point. Okay? Anybody got any questions?
Good to
That
go.
we're supposed to save the questions?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You weren't supposed to save the questions. Okay. So here we go. We are coming back in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're getting wrapped up in some great stories with Brandon Sullivan here. As before we went to break, talked a little bit about El Reno. He's got a great video, and we'll share that in our show notes. But I'm gonna play this again a little bit for you all. And this was obviously his dash cam, Brandon, and seeing the. I mean, you're obviously getting hit with some major debris from the farm as you're going through this, and then what happens here in a moment? A big hay bale hits you, and if I'm correct, don't you get hit by a vehicle or something like that? Is coming up on this, which is just crazy with some of the things you guys were running into. But what I found like that right in the windshield. But what was really crazy was watching you guys and watching you. Like all of a sudden, on the video, you did a good job of editing in you and your driver and your chasers with you, just kind of just going nuts. So here's what I want to know a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Is like you go from just totally like holy fuck to then you're like, okay, you're like observing, looking around. Okay, what's going on? You're observing your surroundings, and then going again, holy fuck. I'm kind of curious, a little bit when you saw yourself for the first time watching this video. I mean, what were your thoughts when you watched yourself after the fact?
So many emotions in that video. So right after that video, we kind of hobbled back to Norman, and there was another tornado warning that was headed right for, storm was headed right for our apartment. So we bailed to no basement or anything there. So bailed to the National Weather Center to kind of take shelter there. And, as we're sitting there in the, waiting for the storm to pass, kind of reviewing all the video. And of course, the public is there. And I don't know, I ended up getting this crowd around me and my laptop watching this video. And the first thing I thought was, wow, this is crazy video and my car is destroyed. If I post this, I can probably pay for all the damage to my car because people will love it. Now, if you gave me, a time machine and I go back, would I post it again? I don't know, because it had, at the time, I was a, student volunteer at the National Weather Service, officially associated with them in some capacity. And it wasn't the best look, obviously, for, the NWS Norman student volunteer to be, out, in a tornado and having all that. So, I've never looked back at it and been like, wow, I was totally, being way too dramatic there, because what people always ask me is like, well, why is Brett, the driver, why is he so calm and you're screaming? And I'm like, well, it's because he didn't have time to look out the window and see like the black wall of death coming right at us. He was focused on driving, and I'm looking out, seeing every object that's out there like disappearing, and just this black wall of pain, coming right at us. So, I've never looked back and thought, wow, I was being a drama queen. And of course, there's YouTube reaction videos and all this type of stuff. But it was a surreal moment. Like the whole like life flashes before your eyes thing, super real. Like that moment felt like it lasted forever. Literally sitting there feeling guilty, like, oh, my parents are going to lose a kid and I just killed my best friend that's driving. It was really a crazy moment. And then obviously everything that followed that was crazy. It was, the media, the video kind of went nuts pretty quick.
Do you have any like post-traumatic stress from that event at all? I mean, because I'm watching, and you're right, the driver, he's driving, you're like, you gotta go or we're gonna die, and I'm just like, I'm watching this go and go, and then I'm thinking afterwards, like when you're watching this video, are you like, part of you is kind of reliving it again, and you're like, this wasn't as much fun as I thought, I mean, is there some PTSD there from it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know how to, quantify it. Now, the few months after that, obviously that was the end of May, so it kind of calms down. But I mean, even chasing, like I did my typical high plains thing, and I definitely noticed, like I would freak out. Even if I was in like a high base hailstorm and I couldn't see, I was in a rain core and I couldn't see what was going on, I definitely got nervous. I don't think I, nowadays like I still chase, all the time and still, try and get good shots of tornadoes, but it's definitely, I think at that time in my career, like that was a time when you'd make a lot of money on selling a tornado video. And like, it was all about, I need to get this shot so I can, make good money. I was in college, but now it's just, I just chase and I don't even bother trying to sell video. I just enjoy it. I have a good job. And I think that's helped me enjoy chasing. It's definitely helped me stay safer. I'm not in any, I try not to get in any crazy situations. And, if my wife is with me, I definitely don't, because she'd kick my butt. But
does she ever go with you? Is she a med, or does she go with you?
Yeah. So she did study meteorology at OU, and also went to Penn State, but she actually saw this video of me before we met, before we even knew each other. And I remember her telling me, like, after her first date, she texted her mom and said, I went on a date with that tornado guy. It was funny that happens.
I could hear her now, just like, knock it off.
Oh yeah, when we get in those crazy RFDs and everything, she definitely gets She didn't always say anything. I hear about it later, especially if there's other people with us. But yeah.
Was that the worst? That was the worst you've ever been in? That one?
Yeah, that was definitely the worst. It was the craziest. Like, I'd never seen anything like that. Like what I thought was just, several little tornadoes ended up being the whole sky was essentially a tornado, just hadn't fully condensed yet. And in my video, somewhere in there, you hear me say, we got 1 minute, and there's probably some cuts in the video, but we definitely stayed longer than 1 minute. So I had the frame of mind to tell Brett to get the car turned around and ready to go, but I still stayed too long. After that.
Did you know that like Greg Johnson and the Tornado Hunters truck was behind you, and do you even remember them going into the ditch to your left and jumping a culvert to get back onto the road and keep cruising?
Yeah, I do remember that, and I remember them behind me, and I was like, there's literally nothing else we can do. We're driving into like 150 mile an hour headwind, and like the vehicle, I got in the car so quick I wasn't even buckled up, and then at one point you see me buckle up real fast, and that's because the vehicle was doing this. It's starting to go up on its side. So I was like, and it's funny, Brett's asking me, are we okay? And I'm like, yes, just drive. And obviously.
How long was it before you got out of it? Like, I'm sure at the moment it seemed like a long time, but like, was it a few minutes or?
Yeah, it was only a few minutes. It didn't last long. And of course, then we stop and look at the vehicle, look at the damage, and go from there. I remember sending a text to my dad, said, hit by tornado, I'm fine, vehicle's totaled. And that's all I said.
Wow.
said to him. So, yeah, I can't imagine what my parents were thinking.
Has anything with Brandon, with your chase strategy and just with how you chase, has anything changed because of that or since that? Now, obviously, your goal wasn't to be that close to that outer circulation and any other kind of circulations within that storm. But personally for me, based on a number of things like years chasing that, man, I just realized I was too far away to really see what I wanted to see, or I was kind of too close and maybe had myself in too much danger. And you kind of learn from that, I guess. Was there anything you changed now in what you're trying to do when you chase from that?
Yeah. I think for me, what I've been able to do is, maybe not very successfully, but I'm getting a lot better at it, is really trying to tune out social media on chase days. And the reason I say that is I can go and get a shot of a tornado, and I don't have to be the closest one. I can enjoy that. But then, you get on social media and someone's got a closer shot, and it just like perpetuates this need to like always be closer. And like, that's just not the strategy that I want anymore. I just want to say I was there, picture it didn't happen type thing. And everything else is, icing on the cake. I don't try to get close. Not even, it's not even really like a storm safety thing, because, obviously freak storm, things like that happen. But I feel pretty confident in being able to identify, hey, potential satellite situation, or I feel decent there. But what scares me is just like other chasers and traffic. And, if you were to get in the situation, there's too many chasers, or you get hit by a chaser and you're stuck there. So, I just try not to.
Somebody going in the ditch beside you. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy. So do you feel like so it seems like you've matured, right? It's like you've passed a threshold, right? So what would be your advice for, the young new chasers out there that do want to have that closest shot? Why is it not worth it anymore for you? What would be your advice to them, to maybe get them to back off a little more?
Yeah, I mean, number one, I would say if you are in it for the money, it's not, it's not there, for not enough to support a good lifestyle and a family on. So if that's your driver, I don't personally believe that it's there anymore. But the adage of there will be more tornadoes is very true. There is, and every time I've missed one, I've been able to see another one. So it's not it's not worth risking your life for a new opportunity that'll come.
As Marky Mark said, Marky Mark said it best: if you're not in it to win it, then get the hell out. So I'll leave it on that. But hey, it is time for our lightning round. That's the sound. It's our game show of flashy and brilliant questions. We always play with our guest, Brandon, and tonight's no different. We're going to bring back an oldie but goodie. We're going to play a little thing called Weird Things Humans Search For.
Oh, this is a good one. You'll like this, Brandon.
So weird things that humans search for. So basically what this is, it's actually a card game, a party game. But what this is, these are actually like searches, like Google searches, right? And the goal is to kind of identify the top 10 most common searches for that item. So I'm going to kind of leave a sentence. So someone's typing this in, what's the most popular thing a clown does at midnight or something, something stupid like that. And then the goal is to come up with what was one of the top 10 searches. So I'm going to go around the horn. Brandon, I will start with you first. And then each of the co-hosts get a chance to try and pick one that might be on the list. And then Brandon, I'll finish with you as well to see if you can finish with a second one, right? And if you do, then you beat all the freaks. Does that make sense?
I think so.
So here's the first one. Here's the first popular search, internet search that weird things humans search for. Has a monkey ever blank? Has a monkey ever... So someone's searching up something about monkeys, right? And they want to know, has a monkey ever what? And the top 10 most popular responses are on here. And Brandon, you get to start. Has a monkey ever what? What are people searching for on the internet?
Has a monkey ever spoken?
Spoken.
That's probably a good one.
That is good.
Good.
That is
Yeah.
good. Spoken is on there. Very good. All right, so we'll go around the horn. Dina, I'm going to go to you. What else might be on there?
Has a monkey
ever what?
ever flown a plane?
Flown a plane. I'm going to say yes. Has a monkey ever been to space? Close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough. You're flying.
All
right, you're flying. So I'll give you that one. MJ,
Okay.
what do you got? Monkey ever what?
Thrown poo?
Everybody knows monkeys throwing poo. You don't have to search that one up on the internet. That everybody knows that one, right? All right, Maz.
Whatever.
What are they? What are monkeys searching for?
Had a mail order bride.
Ah,
Yeah, I don't have to look. I don't think at that. That's
I was checking on that one.
You know what? You know what?
No.
I'm
No.
gonna
Thank
give
you.
you. Has a monkey ever mated with a human?
Oh, that is not what I was saying.
gross.
Maz, oh my gosh.
enough.
How
What
could you
the-
think
Good
that?
job, Maz. That's great. That's right
Yeah.
up your alley. All right,
No.
Serena, we still got plenty on the board.
Has a monkey ever stolen a car?
Ah,
A car. There's really nothing I can even come close to on that one. Nope. All right, so Brandon, I'm going to finish with you. There's still some on the board here. What else are they searching? Has a monkey ever what?
Gone surfing.
ah.
Ooh, that is a good
That's a
one.
good one.
Yeah, but it's wrong. That's not on there. So that was still good. So
how
here are
about
the other ones. Has a monkey ever
delivered?
asked a question, taken the ACT test,
Ah,
Okay.
killed a human? Maz,
Oh,
I thought
had
you'd get
atta-
that
I
one
had
for sure.
attacked a human.
Why would I have gotten that one?
Has a monkey ever touched a whale? I'm like,
what?
what the fuck
That's
is that?
random.
That's crazy. Has a monkey ever shot someone, Maz? I thought you'd get that one too.
Oh yeah.
Here's the other one I thought you'd get. Has a monkey ever smoked weed?
Ah, that's
Okay.
a
Or
good one.
been cloned? Been cloned. So you did get, Maz, you did get with mated a human. So good job. All right. So here's the
Only
next
by
one.
accident.
Here's the
All
next
right,
one,
let's do the
Brandon.
next one.
Jeez.
Why are men so blank? Why are men so blank? and I know Serena and Dean are going to kill this one, but what are they searching for, Brandon? Why are men so what?
Goodness. Forgetful.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
That's very good.
No,
Oh, really?
it's not. It's not on there. All right, Dina, you got to nail this one. Why are men so what?
Why so blind?
Blind.
That's
see
that's
that?
a good one.
I didn't see that. What?
Yeah, I'm
Have
disappointed.
they met my husband?
It's just like
Disappointed.
the blonde's getting back at
Wow.
us or something here. What
That's
is
right.
this?
All right, MJ.
Harry.
Why are men
Ah!
so hairy?
Yes.
No.
No, not on there. Maz, let's give it a shot, buddy.
Gassy.
Gassy.
I'm going to give you that one
Thank
for
you.
loud. Why are men so loud?
Oh,
All right, Serena.
I'll say insensitive.
Insensitive. I'm going to say no on that, and I'm going to give Brandon one more shot. We've only gotten one out of these top 10, Brandon, so you got to nail
how
this
is that even possible?
Let's see. Bad at cooking.
Oh, that's another good one.
That is a good one.
But it's not on there.
What am
Garrett
I
Beverly
getting
said
afraid?
cocky, which
Why are men so cocky?
I don't know. So here are the ones you missed. Mass sexual. Why are men so sexual?
Okay.
And you're back to me again.
Yep. Why are men so immature,
Okay.
insecure, angry, complicated, confusing, stubborn, visual? Maz, right? We talked about the last
He's-
the last guest on El Niños, and moody. Why are men so moody? Really? I don't know why men are moody. All right, last one. This is
All
the
right.
winner. This is the winner, Brendan. People are searching how to give a what? How to give a blank.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll take the high road here. How to give a compliment.
How to give a I would give you the buzzer just for saying I'm going to take the high road on this show. You should know better than that. Dina, how to give a what? What are people searching for?
See, my brain is stuck on one thing. I can't think of anything else. How do people? Shit.
Wait, what's the question again?
Just say it, Dina.
How to give a blank? People are searching up how to give a what?
Can I just say? Well, I'll just say kiss.
How to
Keep it
give
nice,
a
though.
kiss? I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you how to give a hickey. How to give a hickey.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll give you that one. Okay.
Okay.
MJ, what do you got?
Can I just say that other thing Dina wouldn't say?
Which
Yeah,
is
just
what?
say it.
Which is what?
No, never mind. How to give a damn?
Oh, how to give it? That's a
that
good
was
one.
mine. Oh, that was mine anyway.
Oh.
Searching how to give a damn. All right, Maz,
Oh,
you got to be the
seriously?
one.
You got to
be
do
the
Serena.
one. No,
Yeah, good.
You're up. You're up.
MJ took mine.
Okay. What do you got? How to give a what?
It
What
wasn't
people
so
need
bad.
to know how to give a what?
How to give a business away for $2 billion.
Oh, hey, no, you know what? I'm gonna give
thank you.
I'm gonna give you how to give a TED Talk. How to give a TED Talk.
Well, that's
All right, you're a $2 billion
All right.
business owner. You're probably doing a TED
Really?
Talk, right?
Boy.
All right, Serena, how to give a what? What do we got? We're failing miserably here.
Yeah, we are. It's not going well. How to give a cat a pill or medication?
No.
Okay.
Okay, no shit. Where the hell did you come up with that? Because that's on there.
It's on there.
All right.
It's on
nice.
there.
Because it is awful. Because I have tried. It's terrible. I was trying to think of like the hardest thing
Oh
I would have
my
had to
God.
Google. It probably
and
would have
you,
been that.
you don't even have a cat, right?
Not
Oh my God.
presently.
Angela's
Oh, wow.
probably in the green room been screaming that. How to give a cat a pill. That's on there. All right, Brandon, you get to finish this up,
Or a
man.
dog.
There's
Or a
still a
dog.
bunch on there that weren't said.
I'll go with massage.
How to give a massage.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hey,
yeah.
good job.
That was
Nice.
there, baby.
There you
That
go.
was there.
Yeah.
Boy, that was tough.
Yeah.
All right,
MJ.
so here are the other ones. Hold on. All right, how to give cat a bath. So they have to do with
Oh.
cats, obviously.
Yeah.
How to give a flu shot. How to give a
To your
dog a
cat.
bath.
Mm.
How to give a foot massage. So they're getting real specific.
There you go.
How to give a wedding toast.
Okay.
And last but not least, how to give a wedgie. So the one that you guys were thinking about wasn't
not
even
even
on
there.
MJ.
Oh, come on.
Which,
No,
which
it's
normally
Tina.
those kinds of things are in this game. So that's a little surprising that that's not the case. So,
Okay.
all right. So let's do this. We're gonna go ahead and kind of take our second break. But before we do that, Brandon, great job. How can our listeners follow you on social media and find you and all that good stuff?
Sure. I'm on basically all social media at BT Sullivan 91. So Twitter, Instagram, everything.
All that good stuff, and you can find you on YouTube as well. Some of those great videos. We'll share those in our show notes. But as I mentioned, time for a final break. But I'll tell you what, don't stop yet. We've got some great #Weather Fools, some amazing freak video faves, and Weather Trollbot 5000 is going to step back up to the mic. So we'll be right back.
Yep.
All righty. So Brandon, thank you. Now, so here's the key. You can stick around for our last few segments and holler from the peanut gallery if you'd like, or you can take off if you got to go. It's up
But
to you.
if you have to go, we're going to use the recording of you going, drive faster, or we're going to die.
I guess I'll stick around.
Peer pressure.
No, I got nothing going on, so I'm happy to stick around.
Don't tell companies that. You're
Garrett
busy.
like the
You got
wedgie.
stuff happening.
I'm off the clock.
All right, guys, I got one more shot left here. So we got Angela and we got Dan
Yikes.
back in. You guys, now that we talked a little bit about El Reno and more exciting stuff, any questions for Brandon?
I do, and it's kind of piggyback off of one of y'all's questions, but like when you have like the younger people who want to go out and storm chasing, and they see that video of you, what lessons do you want them to take from it?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean, I think that I want somebody that's young, like traditionally what I tell people that are, older that want to go out, I say, let's go find a tour group that, you can go out with and get that first experience. That doesn't really work with the younger ones. So, I try to tell them start, locally, there's probably some skyborne spotters in your community, start on, some things like that, go to storm spotter training classes, don't just drive out to Kansas to see things like that and not know what you're doing. Try to link up with somebody that has been out there and hopefully be safe.
Do you tell them like start small, start with just a rain shower? Try that.
Yeah, I mean that's a fine line because sometimes some storms get kind of crazy. That'd be my luck. I'd say go start somewhere in Ohio on some squall line, and then it would be some crazy thing. So.
Where you're surrounded by trees and you can't see anything, and there's hills,
Right.
and it's
Or
like
go start on a July squall line in Iowa, and it becomes a super duration.
Yeah.
So.
As long as you're not in an 18-wheeler.
I was
Yeah,
fine.
You better.
Face into the wind. So that's crazy.
Anybody else? Dan, you got anything for Brandon?
No, thank you.
Cool. All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll come back out of break. We've got our 3 little segments. First off is Weather Fools. I had Greg starting that us out with that. Does anybody want Weather Fools?
You mean to talk
I'm
about
doing
it?
the next one though.
To open it. Yeah.
I'll open it. That's fine.
All right. So Maz, we will have you open with that and a little applause. We'll do Weather Fools, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa.
wow.
Good night, Irene.
Is one of them? Because I have one.
I have one.
Does anyone have the family that's playing in like their driveway and the lightning crashes and the dad
Nope.
takes out the scooter?
No,
Mm-mm.
Sweet.
I have 3.
Whoa.
Okay, we'll do Serena, Dina, MJ, and then Phil. Since that's like
me.
And
Well,
then
okay.
you can wake me up tomorrow when Phil's done.
Sure, yeah, no
Oh,
kidding.
shut up.
Serena,
You always have like 5.
well, that way he can decide
They're
if he
all
wants
good.
to say one or two.
Serena and Dina, share your screens, please.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody else who has anything else besides.
And Maz, these are all on episode 136 show notes.
Show notes. Gotcha.
Show notes. And everybody, please share
Um,
me your videos. Email me your videos, please. Your links.
I
So I
just
can
said
add those to
mine.
the show notes. So don't forget that. All right, then we're going to go to Dina. You've got freak video faves. Okay. So everybody, who's got a video
got 'em?
favorite to share besides me? I've got one.
Okay, Phil.
I
Anybody?
couldn't find one. I didn't
Okay.
bring one.
Brandon, you got it. You got a good video you can share.
Do you?
Phil's got one and I've got one. So
It says not for broadcast though, doesn't it? So
Mine's mine's
Whoops.
self.
it'll
what do you call that
offset
when you-
the weather pools.
self-defecating is
Self-
probably
All
what
right.
mine is.
Well,
but-
Phil, you'll do the well.
Self-defecating?
it's deprecated. Defecating. is your
Defecating
word.
is very different.
as soon as you see mine, you'll know why it's
Oh,
self-defecating.
Ah,
Okay.
Nice.
Very
Okay.
punny.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No, it's yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so who else has got one?
Just me and
Dina.
you, Phil.
Oh, Dina does have one. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I sent
All
them
right.
to you.
Dina, you're a winner, man. You show up
She
every
is.
show.
I show up with my shit, man.
You do. And actually, I'll share this with everybody. Dina sends me her shit like Tuesday.
Wow.
Like she emails me her shit Tuesday.
Do you see the list of edits I've got already, people?
Hey, this isn't.
Wow.
You're gonna cut this whole thing out anyway, so don't worry about it.
This is in
I've
the
already
middle
had all
anyway.
4 of my shots.
Yeah,
So
I
just
know.
so you
I was
know.
wondering if you had
That
those
is
shots yet.
Major. It means we got to
Because
get
he's
moving, or we're
funnier.
going to really
He's
be in
funnier
trouble.
when he drinks,
All
and he
right,
tells
and
me
then
to shut up.
We'll
all right,
never
then
hear any of
Serena. You've got what intro weather trollbot 5000.
Okay.
Right. You know how
Found
to
it at
intro
a
that?
garage yard sale, something or other.
Yeah, and she
Reprogrammed
likes
it.
Yep, and
Okay.
she likes to let people know, our weather friends, what they were really thinking when they replied on social media, because they're always really nice and all that stuff. And I've got 2 to share, but they're always pretty quick. So
Okay.
and then MJ, Freak Fan Box, and we'll close it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else got anything fun? And Dina, the Freak Video faves will be on episode 136 show notes.
Got it.
Okay. Hey, do you guys still want to do some kind? I'm trying to think what's going to happen next spring of 2022, where we can get
Jace.
together to celebrate something.
Oh, and catch COVID again? Yeah, thanks. That was fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
do some
Yeah,
chasing. do maybe more than just a couple days. Maybe we can do some chasing together. But
I'd like to chase.
we might be getting close to our by then our 200,000th download.
Ooh.
200,000 downloads.
We need
by then,
another
so-
beer with that name.
That's
know?
true.
We
do.
could go to Orlando and visit all the beers around the world.
Okay,
That's
Sounds-
right.
you can't chase in Orlando though. And
Yeah.
Well,
When's the 200th episode? That's got to be. What's the timing of
Yeah,
that?
we're
Yeah,
130.
that's
It's
a while
200
yet.
Yeah.
a little bit out yet.
We're a ways
Yeah,
out.
it is.
We
Okay.
basically, because we're bi-weekly, so we're about 25,
25.
26 shows a week.
That's
That's
six
a ways
years.
off then.
6 years away.
Okay.
So we're about
6 years away.
Okay.
You do your
All
150th.
right,
All right,
everybody.
let's
So
roll.
everyone's sharing their screen, so MJ can pull it up.
We're
MJ,
good.
You good? All right. So Weather Fools, Maz, you ready?
I am. Yep.
Coming in 3, 2.
All right, welcome back. It's time now for Weather Fools. This is the part of the show where people are either doing something funny in weather or that's just stupid. What are you doing in the weather right now? So here to show us some of those videos, we're going to kick things off with ladies first. Let's go, Serena. What do you got?
Excellent. Thank you. I found this clip. It's a family playing outside. It's a beautiful day. It's one of those like doorbell cameras. And I'll just go ahead and click play here for a little bit. Everyone's having fun. Mom's riding a scooter.
Mom's
but there's a
riding scooter,
very
okay.
strange sound.
Whoa!
Everybody takes off.
Oh,
What happened to that guy?
There's so much that's happening here, and if you can find this, the video itself is really great, but the best part is actually when you read through the comments.
I like
Oh,
that
the
the mom
comments
just
are
strapped
okay.
her scooter and the husband fell over it.
He trips
What-
over
yeah,
it
what happened to the
entirely.
husband?
I mean,
Explain to me,
the kid's
what
the only
happened to
one
the
who gets
husband?
out of there efficiently.
jeez.
There's a light.
It's
Is that
just-
lightning?
It's
Was that-
very
was that
interesting.
lightning?
The hilarious thing about it, I mean, among a million other things, is when you watch that one, the wife is yelling, "Come on," and the dad responds, "I don't know." And there's so much confusion that happens in that whole scene. It's all the comments online are what make that video so good.
But we don't
Like
know.
5 seconds. There's a lot of confusion.
So much confusion, and it's I don't want to call them weather fools. They were outside when clearly lightning was very nearby, but the reaction is just it's fantastic.
The dad falling over that scooter.
So could we not? Do we not know what happened?
It was a lightning strike.
Oh, okay.
And it
'Cause I
was-
didn't
yeah, and it
see
was-
it,
it
and I
was-
was like, "What the?"
Yeah, you can't see it. It's just it's when you hear the sound, you hear like that crack. You could tell it's something that was
Okay.
very close, and they had literally no idea it was happening, and just sheer panic kicked in, and it's for all of our benefit.
So Brandon, while in your chasing, like, has there ever been a moment that you recall? I'm sure there's probably multiple, but where you were out filming, taking photos, whatever you're doing, and then all of a sudden, like, bam, it's right there, right next to you.
Oh yeah, it's one of those strikes where you hear that, but like as it hits, yeah. I get in pretty quick after that. Sometimes I don't even bring the camera in with me. I just let it stay out.
All right, good job, Serena. Let's go to Dina. You got one too, right?
All right, this one is funny. And they're trying to pull a tarp in over a Regent's Field in Birmingham as a thunderstorm rolls in, and I'm laughing because they're trying to pull it while the winds are blowing, the rain's blowing. I mean,
Oh, that guy
they
got
couldn't have
caught.
done this
Yeah.
3 minutes earlier when somebody's got to be looking at the radar. But it's funny because they're all trying to get it out, and
Oh
it's just
Lord, yeah, that's not
it's
going
like
to
a
go well.
parachute, when you used to play with the
Mhm.
parachutes in gym class and you pick it
Mhm.
up. I just thought this was so funny. And at the end you can hear the guy go, "Oh,
jeez.
you got to sell this." Whoa, and then it's like a slip and slide.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Wow.
it's not as fun, Dina, right? When you're because that is dangerous crap.
It
like
is.
If you're trying to pull that big of a tarp of a baseball infield,
Yeah.
and it's flapping around and it's flying around, yeah, that's come on, guys.
It was dangerous. And then you hear the guy, that guy got actually picked up and flown and flung to the other side. But you hear the guy at the end going, "Oh man, this is good. You should send it in." So that was a good one. That was a good
Send
one.
it to Weather Fools.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Dina. Nice one. I like that. That was funny. MJ, funny or what the heck?
I've got a mix. I've got some listener and viewer contributions here. This is from Christine, aka Luna Light, aka Obsidian Wing, and she does a pretty good job of describing what's going to happen here. If I can make it play, there we go. Oh, we're going to hear it too, probably. First, he's mad about the floods, then insulting the driver. It's all in German, so you have to practice your German skills. And then making fun of him swimming away with his car. So he's making fun of somebody else as he's driving through this mad flooded road. But then he gets after he makes fun of another driver, he gets a little karma that comes back when you keep going. You'll realize he starts to float.
It starts
Oh my
bobbing.
God.
Yep, he starts floating. So there's a car in front of him floating right now.
Oh,
And pretty quick, you're going to see it start moving right about here, I think. And
Uh-oh.
yeah, okay, this is
Uh-oh.
problem. He's getting closer, and he's way underwater now.
oh,
And I'm going to move forward just a little bit quick because now he's turning.
oh.
Now he's in the
floating now.
current.
He's in
Yeah.
the current,
In the
yep, and then
current.
he's going to show. You got to get it all the way through because he's going to show the car. He's going to be a little bit unhappy with what happened.
Oh my
I think
god.
there's some
Quiet.
words I have to edit out in German that are happening
yeah,
right out
don't
here.
do
And here
that.
you go.
We
Oh,
don't hear.
water
We
in the
don't. We don't
car.
hear that. You're good.
Water. Oh,
Yeah.
you're not hearing it. Okay, good. So
No,
water
we
in the
don't hear
car.
that.
There you go.
Oh,
So
Why do
That's
people
funny.
drive into floodwaters? I
I
just don't
don't know.
understand.
I don't either.
That's
Oh.
stupid.
So here's one that's a little more lighthearted. Jay Bingham, Jay is painting, shared this with us
that's
of
funny.
a gal surfing behind. This is a throwback to probably in the 50s or so.
All right, Maz,
And-
what year was that? You
Yep.
you must have remembered that, right?
There you go.
Was it
19
Doomheit? Is that what it said
That's
last
funny.
time?
No
30,
comment.
40.
So,
Oh, man.
anyway, surfing behind a car in a flooded water. And then we have this one, which, the person's kind of foolish, but I just think this is kind of funny. As the guy this also in Germany, because of course, they've been having some massive floods.
Yeah.
And he's riding a pink floaty llama, unicorn, horse, I'm not sure what, but he's just floating right down the current with it. And nothing really happens bad. It's just,
He's just floating
Kind
through
of-
that
kind of
shit
funny.
water. That's
Kill
all.
the
Yeah, no.
infection.
yeah, okay.
He's throwing
it,
through.
yeah.
He's going through sewage and poop.
Yeah.
And,
No alcohol
Jeez.
involved in that one.
yeah.
Probably
He
not.
probably has
no.
another.
So-
He should have had another floaty attached with a rope with his cooler.
Yeah.
That'd have been even funnier.
So
I
there
think
you
that may be
go.
only an
There's-
American thing.
There's a few for
Did
you.
the pink llama give him MRSA, or did he get that from something else? Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, good job on that, MJ. Phil, what do you got tonight?
All right, I've got 4 of these for you tonight. This weather fools are galore on social media. This is Facebook, and this happens to show us a video of some people golfing, and I don't know where exactly they're golfing, but the guy's hiding behind his golf cart because the wind
Lord.
is so freaking
Oh,
Oh
strong.
my god.
It's like a
And
bush.
there goes like a
that flows
bush.
by.
Yeah, goes flying by him. Now they're not actually golfing, thank God. But they
Jeez.
were golfing before this storm happened to hit. So I don't know who forgot to warn them that there's like high winds coming. But the sand is just blowing like mad.
Wow.
I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for a while.
He's like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm cool.
Wow.
Doesn't
All right.
bother
Puts
me
his
a
hat
bit.
back
Wow.
on and just sits there like nothing.
And then we were talking about insurance earlier, right? And you guys know, like when your home insurance, don't they always ask, like, do you own a trampoline?
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that one of
Usually.
the questions? So this is a tweet that happens to be a video of actually why insurance companies ask you that question. So I'm going to play this video. Someone's taking a video outside, and there's a guy that runs in from outside. Then he goes back outside, and he
my
almost
God.
gets
Oh my
nailed by a
God.
trampoline flying by in this storm.
Lord.
It like that close to death.
I thought it
Yeah,
did
no
him.
kidding.
That is like the
Oh.
I
closest
think it did.
video
I think
to
it
death
got
on the
him a
internet.
little bit, but
Wow.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
holy
Man.
cow.
I mean that is just like, so this is why, guys, you don't want to have a trampoline or have a neighbor that has a trampoline.
But plus,
Okay.
he was pushing it. He was like, "Look, I went out. I'm fine." And
Right,
he's
like
"And
it's
I'll do
really
it
windy
again."
outside in this storm. Look, hey,
Look
I'm
at me,
gonna do it again.
ha. Look at me. That was fun.
What do you always say, Dina? Hold my beer, right?
Yeah, hold my beer.
Hold my
Does
beer.
he
on that
realize
one.
how close he came to dying? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Man.
He was drunk. He didn't.
Intense.
He didn't know.
All right, so Angela, one of our VIPs in the green room, we talked a little bit about this, right? This is my biggest pet peeve in the world. I promise I won't drop 5 F-bombs tonight.
Thank
Just
you.
4. But
Jeez.
when there is a hailstorm, people, and you're on a interstate or a highway or anything like that, do not block traffic from being able to keep moving under overpasses. And of course, here we go. There are people that are stopped in traffic and are stopping everybody else in traffic because they are blocking all lanes under an overpass because they don't want their pretty little car to get a little hail damage. That's why you have fucking insurance, people. Okay.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then my last weather fool, I honestly don't know if we've covered this yet. It's pretty popular.
Oh
this
yeah, this is a
did-
good one.
Did we talk about this yet? Where is this? This is the golf place. What's that golf place?
Top golf.
Top golf,
Golf.
right? So we
Oh,
went there
right.
for our 100th episode.
Yeah.
We did a little Top Golf, but this is a video at Top Golf during a storm,
Oh.
Yeah.
and somebody tees off in this storm, and literally the golf ball gets hit by lightning.
Oh,
That
my
was a good one.
gosh.
That was a good one.
You
Like
look
I
at
could
that.
golf
totally
ball, they
see, like,
slow
Brady
motion
doing
it,
that.
right?
That'd
The
be
golf
cool.
ball gets hit by lightning as he's teeing off.
Jeez.
Now, I'll say this. A lot of TikTok videos are BS, right? Like they edit it, and make it look really cool and all that stuff. I don't think this one was edited because everybody reacted to that lightning strike and ran away.
Yes.
If you watch the video, they all scream. And that's just, to me, that's intense.
That's crazy.
That's intense. So those
that a
are
hole
my
in one?
those are my
What is
weatherfalls.
What does that count as?
Yeah, what do you call that? Man, that was good. That's a good one. You got to keep that one. All right. All right. So if you want to check out some of those videos, you can go to stormfrontfreaks.com. It is episode 136 in the show notes. You can see all those videos again.
Nice. All right, this is the time of the show where we have the Freaks video faves, and these are like the cool videos that we find that are really, really cool. It's not necessarily a weather fool, but it's something we just see that's just so cool. We've got to share it. And Phil, you've got one, right?
I do. I've got one to share. I don't know why I called this.
That is cool.
What did I call it?
Sorry.
I called it self-defecating.
Yes.
Self-defecating.
Self-defecating, I think was the
Yeah.
But so I want to share a little video with you, actually. And I shared this with some of the freaks, I think, a week or two ago. This was from my my chase here this past spring. So this is May 26th.
Oh, yeah.
In Kansas. And so I was chasing this tornado-warned storm
It's like gravel
in
road.
Kansas, and this was my dash cam. And I totally didn't realize I was doing this until I was going through my video. But I walked out in front of my car. There was no one around me. I'm on a dirt road, and I had to pee. And so here I am. Now you don't actually see the pee coming out, but I call this video "Taking Relief," and I will. I'll upload this to YouTube. But pretty cool looking storm in the back. But I had to pee, and I didn't
You've
realize
got this
I was
beautiful
like, obviously
background setting, and then Phil's taking a whiz.
in front of my dash cam. There's this tornado-warned storm behind me.
Okay, we got to ask Brandon. Brandon, anybody ever been caught on camera like, oh crap, I forgot it was on?
Yeah. And I have, like a rear dash cam too, so it's not always safe.
geez.
No. Nowhere is safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So was it a rear dash cam then? or-
He's telling some of the ladies, "Oh, just go in the back. Nobody will see you there."
Yeah. So I'm watching all my video, and I'm like, yeah, that's some pretty good, from a 4K video, and that looked pretty good. And then all of a sudden, here I walk in
Here
front.
comes Phil.
Yeah.
All right, I do have one to share, and this is really, I think it's beautiful. It's a dust devil, and they did it with a drone, and I just think it is beautiful. I mean, the last few years, now that we have drone footage, it just changes the way we see weather.
Really cool.
And it is, I just think it's so beautiful. They said probably the most powerful dust devil I've ever seen, conservative estimate of 60-mile-per-hour winds, and probably over 1,000 feet tall. But I love this. I think it's so picturesque and beautiful. And it's like out obviously in a field, so it's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
But just the I think the vantage point of it with the drone now, I think it's amazing.
I'll say this, Dina. There's a lot of people now doing some really good drone stuff. And I'd be remiss because if I tried to tell everybody, because I'd forget somebody. But I'll tell you one person that I know I've seen just recently some amazing stuff is Brian Empfinger. Mm-hmm. I also know he's lost some of his drones recently because he's gotten so close to some tornadoes.
You gotta get good insurance on that one.
Yeah, and I know Dan Wallace, one of our patron VIPs. I know he does a lot of drone stuff too, and some really cool stuff. I don't know, Brandon, have you considered that or thought about that at all? Or
yeah, so if you back in 2016, I did a drone video of Dodge City, and it wasn't like super close to it. I actually remember looking up and realizing my drone had like almost flown into the tornado. It was kind of before drones had like the stay in place feature. But yeah, it was, I tried to pioneer that, but I nowadays there's so many rules and regulations around it. I never know where I'm going to be. I can't file for an authorization and then be in the middle of,
need to file a flight plan.
Yeah, be my luck. I'd be trying to contact a mom and pop airport in middle of Kansas for approval to go fly. So just too much hassle.
Does the flight plan then go like around in a circle really fast?
But no, I love all those videos that everybody's getting, and it's crazy.
I love them. But if you want to see any more, if you want to see that one, I would recommend looking at that again. Stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 136, show notes.
All right. It is time for Weather Trollbot 5000, one of my personal favorites. For those who don't know, this is a bot that Phil found at a garage sale, and he reprogrammed it so it could tell you what meteorologists are really thinking when they reply to nasty viewer comments. So they're always very polite and PC in their responses, but Weather Trollbot tells you what they were actually thinking. I think Phil's got a couple examples for us tonight.
So I do, Serena. I've got a couple to share, and it starts with who we've kind of unofficially named this whole segment after, which is Ginger Z, because she does such a great job of actually sharing these on social media. But so here's what I'll share. So this was the troll, first off. The guy's name was Puel Heilich.
All right, right
Heilich.
there.
All right.
I want to make fun of him.
Puel, you're right. P-U-L-E, Puel, right? So anyway, so Puel says to Ginger, I hate to enlighten you, Ginger, but you're not a scientist until you get your PhD. BS degree is just a starting point. Go figure. All right, so that was Puel. So Ginger responded, as always, right? Our weather friends are very professional. Brandon, I'm sure you're no different when you respond to your trolls and evil comments. But Ginger says, definition of a scientist, a person who is studying or has expert knowledge of one or more of the natural or physical sciences. Plain and simple. She says, I don't see PhD. I would love to get a PhD. I do think I am an expert in meteorology through 2 decades of forecasting, chasing storms, and warning.
Thank you, girl. Go.
She's awesome.
Nice.
Right. So that was a response. But here's the key, right? We always know, like, I'm sure when Ginger first read that, I'm sure she wasn't like automatically thinking this response, right? I'm sure she was probably thinking something that we all might think when we read a stupid troll like that. So here's what we'll do. So as Serena said, we're going to input all this stuff into Weather Trollbot. And then Weather Trollbot has to compute the response. And it actually comes out in like a little tape here. But then I've programmed Weather Trollbot to actually read what Ginger was thinking.
Here is what Ginger was really thinking. What kind of dickshit name is Puel? And where the hell does it say a scientist needs a PhD? I'm going to get this taser face out of my feed. Blocked.
Shit face.
That's good.
Wow.
So she was thinking exactly what you were thinking, Dina, first off, which is,
Yeah.
what kind of name is Puel?
Go back to your mom's basement and shut it.
So here's what's funny is this is kind of a little series here. So not only did Ginger respond to some of these trolls, but one of her mentors, good old James Spann, also responded to one of the trolls that commented on Ginger.
Nice.
So this is
Good.
Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin is the name. Now here's the truth. The Twitter handle is @JT7271.
Yeah, he's hiding behind the fake name.
So someone's hiding
Yeah.
behind something, or it's a bot, or who knows. But so here's what quote unquote Peter Griffin said: "This TV weather crumpet thinks she's a scientist. #delusional."
Dick.
Yeah. So here's
I believe
what
it's
James
pronounced
said, right?
Richard.
James the ever professional went on to Twitter and said, "Let me introduce you to Peter, the kind of troll female meteorologists have to deal with. Peter needs to stop tweeting, maybe sit out the next play."
Very polite.
So
Yeah.
very polite, but let's input that. We're gonna go ahead and let her compute and find out what James was thinking.
Here's what James was really thinking. I'm going to really fuck this guy up on Twitter. Watch this.
That's all. That's all you need.
Just open the
nice to say.
cages to Twitter world.
He's
James
probably
Fan
thinking
has more followers and
I've got hundreds of thousands of people that'll follow me, and I'm going to introduce them to Peter. So
yeah.
So that there you go. That was good old weather Trollbot 5000.
Send me a
Nice.
postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail,
Mail,
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
MJ, what do we got in the mailbag?
Oh yeah, we do have some mail. Datasaurus Rex checked in on, gave
like
us a
I like
review
that.
on, yeah,
I
absolutely, a review on Apple Podcasts Canada, and says 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Woo!
Fantastic podcast, checks all the boxes. Funny, educational, funny again. Adult beverages, funny. Great cast, great guests. But the star, the one who really keeps everything rolling along smoothly, is
Funny.
Weather Trollbot 5000.
Oh,
This-
man.
This
Nice.
unsung hero is truly the glue holding the Stormfront Freaks together. The addition of El Ninos to the Stormfront Freaks family has been amazing. Great interviews and great guests. I have a sneaking suspicion that Trollbot may be pulling the strings behind the scenes over there as well. Keep up the great work, everyone. So thank you,
Nice.
Datasaurus Rex.
That's a
Thanks,
great name,
Datasaurus Rex.
Isn't that a great handle?
Very
Yeah.
clever.
That name is fantastic,
Yeah.
by the way.
Absolutely. So we go on. Josh Burnham checks in and says, if you're into podcast and like weather, check out Stormfront Freaks podcast. Educational with lots of shenanigans.
Oh, one of my
Thanks,
favorite
Josh.
words.
Josh is on now,
That's a
right?
great word.
We're the super troopers of the weather world.
We
Absolutely.
need uniforms.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right,
Get all the
Paige.
weather symbol.
We got a couple things from Paige, one of our Patreon members, I believe, who tweeted out, "Thanks for the freaking awesome stickers." And she got a picture of the I Break for Storms bumper sticker and a couple other things that are a benefit of being a Patreon member. And then I believe sent some to you, Phil. Is that correct?
Yeah, we did a little sticker exchange,
Little
which
sticker
I always
exchange,
tell
yeah.
people on social media I'm willing to do. If you got any Chase stickers, you have a Chase team or whatever
Cool.
you want to do a little exchange, we'll do that.
Yep. Awesome.
Hit us up
And-
on Twitter.
Yep, and it was hashtag Weather Nerd Sticker Exchange, and said if you're my
That's nice.
follower and haven't checked out Stormfront Freaks podcast yet, you should.
Oh,
And along with those stickers came a handwritten note. So kudos to Paige
They
for
still
a
do
handwritten
those,
note. People still do those, yes.
That's nice.
Thanks for the best weather podcast. Makes my drives to and from work filled with fun and education about storms. And then talks a little bit about some stickers that were sent to Phil. So thank you, Paige. Thank you, everyone. And feel free to tweet to us. Check us out on Facebook. However you want to connect with us, and then we'll try to get you on the show.
did
All-
Trollbot do the note too? I mean, Trollbot's doing everything.
You know, I was going to say all the education that people get are not from us. It's always from our guests like Brandon or
That's right.
whoever
This is
we
true.
have on. Yeah.
Smile, Brandon. We're talking you up, dude.
Well, hey, I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. Definitely thanks for listening or watching. And before I announce our next guest, if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe to or follow the Stormfront Freaks network so that you'll get notified and receive the latest episodes of our show and El Ninos delivered right to your podcast player the moment that we release it. We'd also love to read your reviews. So as MJ went through, if you guys want to share written reviews, and we love the 5 stars and all that stuff too, that's great. Thank you. We do this for all of you, but certainly the written ones we love to read because that makes us feel great and feel like we're doing something special for you guys. Also visit patreon.com/stormfrontfreaks. You can check out all the ways that we can do more for you and how you can help support the show, whether it's the live access to view and chat during our raw video recordings. I want to, one of our Patreon members, Garrett Beverly, he made a comment, and I'll have to ask him about it, but one of his was nothing like hepatitis to end your summer with. And I don't. It's like what were we talking about that had to do with hepatitis? That was pretty cool.
I like his other one. Respect the polygon and respect the ladies.
Yes.
Thank you, Garrett.
Very good. So you can also, as a Patreon member, you can get live access to view and chat during our raw video recordings. As I said, get exclusive merchandise that we send out as well. And as we work with other people and we get sent stuff, we'll do drawings with our Patreon members. Or you can even join us and our guests in the green room, like we've got with Dan and Angela, our VIPs as well. We love having people on. So visit patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks, and you can join the team. But again, thank you for all our supporters that help with the show. Special thanks to our guest tonight, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, thanks so much for
Thanks, Brandon.
you know, not only in being on the show and I'm looking for a word to say. I'm drunk. I've had 5 shots and a glass of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And everything else. But not only were you with us to answer our questions, but you decided to stick around, and that says a lot about you. So
I'm surprised Phil made it this far with all that alcohol.
You know, it's all that alcohol is pretty low alcohol content, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the 20-30% range.
Try a dizzy bat moment there and see what happens.
Our next episode, this is what we're getting excited about. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. We're going to be back in 2 weeks, recording live and raw with our Patreon members on Thursday, August 5th. And we're going to start with part 1 of our storm training series that we talked about. And we're going to have Skip Talbot and Dr. Victor Gensini are going to be on. They'll be talking about storm forecasting, kind of the 2 to 30 days out range, you know. So if you're storm spotting, storm chasing, whatever it is, just how to identify if the storms will be in your area or where they may be 2 to 30 days out. So we'll kind of talk about that kind of forecasting. The audio podcast is going to be up and available that following Sunday as well, for those of you that like to listen. And I think that's it for MJ and Maz, Dina, Serena, Brandon. We got Dan and Angela here in the background as well. I'm going to go ahead and signal the all clear, and we'll catch you guys next time. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
See ya.
All right. Hey, one quick thing, Brandon, I forgot to ask you this. Will you do us a favor? Give us a quick sound bite. And if you can just say, hey, this is meteorologist and storm chaser Brandon Sullivan, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Sure. Hey, this is meteorologist and storm chaser Brandon Sullivan, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Outstanding.
Works. You should be on TV, man.
Yeah. Wasn't bad for a first try.
Thanks for joining us, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Josh and
Yeah,
Garrett. It's
thanks,
always
Garrett.
so fun to read their commentary the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's and I'm
Sarah,
so
can you
glad
get him?
that
Yeah.
Garrett knew the full name of the Playboy model that was on El Niños.
Yes,
because
yes.
I couldn't think of it. So, I wasn't looking at her name.
So
It's a podcast.
Bring back
Podcast
Trollbot.
people, come on, audio podcast.
So show title, is it I Want to Be Acquired, or was it a rear dash cam? Or I think those two are pretty good, but
Yeah, Acquired. I like that one.
that was we spent a lot of time talking about.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was also thinking
What other ones? Yeah.
self-defecating was also funny.
Well, they're
That was funny.
So Brandon, here's the funny thing, right? So we just come up with some stupid ass name to the show, but what's funny is when it's listed on all the podcast libraries, it'll say, like episode 136, Brandon Sullivan self-defecating.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have that one.
Right.
You know, and I just have to say in advance, I'm sorry. That's just kind of how it goes.
So that's funny that, you know, similar to that, when you so on YouTube, my video of the El Reno tornado, it says you know, Brandon Sullivan, Brett Wright, the date, like deadly tornado, whatever. But I like, when I first posted it, it cut off, like it was so much before. All it says was Brandon Sullivan, Brett Wright, dead.
Yeah.
It was like this huge thing, you know, 1 million views, and like people are like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Wow.
That'll get their attention.
Yeah, that's how you
Yeah.
got all the. That's how you got all the
Dead.
views. That's good. We'll have to do. So maybe we should just do that. Call it dead. Brandon Sullivan dead.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some more followers. I want to let you guys know I got Greg responded to me. I said, "How's the chase? Just getting really into it. No frickin' data." So he lives in Canada. I guess that's what you get for living in Canada. No frickin' data.
What do you want? What do you want for the title?
Come on, Dan, Angela, help us out. What should the title be?
The acquired one is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That's the one I like.
I want to be
Acquired.
acquired.
Acquired. Brandon Sullivan. Acquired.
Brendan Sullivan. I want to be acquired.
I want to be acquired.
That could mean so many things. So let it.
I know.
You know.
So Brandon, you have to understand, when we had James Spann on,
Yes.
his show title was episode whatever it was, James Spann, Poop and Brute.
Poop and brute.
That was great.
Yeah,
You
so-
That was a really good one.
Cantori was sophisticated pooper.
Sophisticated
Was
pooper.
he?
That's right.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Jim Cantori, sophisticated pooper.
He would be a sophisticated pooper.
We've probably had some guests not come back because of how their show
Yeah.
is listed in our library.
Hey, then you don't want them back. Then that's
Yeah.
no.
That's
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
Hey,
Have
no,
a sense of humor.
I do want to share this. So you guys know last episode, and if you weren't on, one of the segments we did was wasted weather clip.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Where I slowed. So Brandon, you'll like this. So I slowed down. Actually, I'll somewhat. If you weren't on, let me share this with you. And Brandon, you can quick listen. You got a second, Brandon? While you're.
Yeah.
You're not. You're good. Okay. So what I do is I just I slow down the audio and I change the pitch so the voice sounds the same, but it's just slow and slurred, and so it makes it sound like they're drunk, right? And they're just wasted and they're talking. And so I did one on Reed Timmer. Was the last one. Where is it here? Reed Timmer. Here we go.
Major waterproofing exercise happening here with the Dominator 4. This is Sasha and Critter's office here. Shop, what have you. This is where the magic happens.
So anyway, I played this clip of Reed, right? And it was all funny. And anybody that watches the show know we've done this before with Al Roker and just all the anybody famous in weather. We've done this before, right? So the funny thing is I took that clip and I made like a little for social media. I made like a little, like it's a video, but it just plays the audio of it. And so I played it and I just, was kind of joking. Hey, we caught this on episode 135. We got this clip of Reed Timmer. Sounded like he might have been in the bag while he was, taping up his Dominator 4, and then it played that clip and then Reed, he retweeted it, right? He resent it out. And then all of a sudden there's these people that don't follow us. And Reed's tweet said WTF, like what the fuck, when he tweeted up. And all of a sudden I was getting all these people going, that's just not nice. And there was there's someone that I know in the weather community and kind of respect that like came back and said, where'd you get that video? And I'm just like, I just shared the video. Here's where it was, a YouTube video. And then she came back, there's nothing in there that makes it sound like he's intoxicated or he's been drinking. And I'm like, whoa, you don't get it. You do not get it. Like, it was totally out of context. right? That I just shared that clip, and people were like, "You shouldn't do that to Reed, and that's mean of you to do that." And I'm like, "Well, you guys obviously don't know us, you know." And Reed, and then so I had this conversation with Reed on Twitter in DMs. We were just DMing back, and we were talking, you know, and he was saying, "Yeah, it's funny how people do." Anyway, he said, "Maybe I'll take it down." I said, "Nah, I don't take it down. I don't give a crap." And then he ended up taking it down because he felt bad that we were getting all this these people like getting mad at us because we were supposedly doing something bad to Reed, but it was funny.
So you either like us or you hate us.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, it's like either you get it. If you know us, you get it. If you don't know us, then fine. You know, get to know us then, right? Before you.
So they're all tuning in 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Don't be so judgy.
Ending the broadcast.
All right, so Brandon, thank